This story is called The Magic Pot. See? The Magic Pot, P-O-T. Once upon a time, there was a girl who lived with her mother in a tiny house outside a small village. They were very poor and sometimes they were very hungry. Sometimes they had nothing to eat at all. One day, when the girl was out in the woods searching for mushrooms and blackberries, she met an old woman who was carrying an empty iron pot. "Take it," said the old woman, putting the pot into her hands. "When you are hungry, say to it, 'Little pot, boil.' When you've had enough, say, 'Little pot, stop.'" The girl thought it was very strange, but she took the pot home and told her mother what the old woman had said. "Put it on the table, say the words, and we'll see if that really happens," said her mother. "Little pot, boil," said the little girl. Hardly were the words spoken than the pot began to bubble and hiss, and steam began to rise out of it. "It's filling up. It's truly a magic pot," said her mother. "Stop it before it overflows." "Little pot, stop," said the girl. The bubbling and hissing stopped at once. "What a delicious smell," said the girl. "That looks and smells very much like porridge to me." Porridge is the same as hot oats. "Bring 2 plates and 2 spoons and we will taste it." It was the sweetest, creamiest, nicest hot oats either of them ever had tasted. And with the magic hot oats pot like that at their command, their days of being hungry were over. It didn't matter how much porridge they ate. There was always some more to be had as soon as they said, "Little pot, boil." One day when the girl was out, her mother set the pot on the table and she said, "Little pot, boil." The bubbling began and the steam began to rise and the smell of porridge began to fill the room. The sweet, creamy porridge reached the brim of the pot. But the girl's mother opened her mouth to say the stop words and she couldn't remember what they were. All she could think of was, is that enough? A tiny trickle of porridge began to run down the outside of the pot. "Oh my no, look at this." Blah, 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 blah. "Stop, stop," she shouted. "I don't want any more. Stop filling up. Stop cooking. Go away." The harder she tried to remember the right words, the worse it got. The pot bubbled and bubbled, and the trickle of porridge became a little river. It spread over the table and into a sticky mess on the floor. "What shall I do?" she cried. And she climbed on a chair. "Please stop. Please, pot." The pool of porridge spread to the door and ran out into the street. "Stop, stop," she shouted. "Come back, porridge. Get into the pot. Please stop." But the porridge pot didn't pay any attention. It would only stop when it was given the right command. But what was that right command? The sweet, creamy porridge began to behave like an overflowing river. It ran on and on along the streets, into the houses and the dog cages. It filled up the fish ponds and the drains. "What's happening?" shouted all the people of the town. They waded through the sticky mess. "It's the pot, it won't stop." The people began to shout commands. The dogs began to bark and the cats began to meow. "Stop making porridge before we all drown. Stop, stop." The girl was visiting at the far edge of the town. She heard all the commotion and looked out the window to see what the noise was all about. As soon as she saw the rivers of porridge oozing through the streets, she guessed at once what had happened. She ran home as fast as she could. Do something quickly," urged her the people of the town. When she got home, her mother was still shouting commands. "Stop cooking, stop bubbling, stop, stop." "Little pot, stop," said the girl. That was the right command, and the pot finally did stop. Instantly, And the mother said, I will only use the pot when you are here the next time, said her mother. I don't want that to happen again. Neither did anyone else. It took forever to clean the town up, and nobody wants to do that kind of sticky job twice. The end.